Welcome to another episode of the Ashkar Show, the place that we all talk about all this cow poop happening around the world, only here we speak it out loud. In today's episode, I want you to watch this new teaser trailer that just came out for the movie October 8th. Looks insane, guys. It is.
The terrorist group Hamas has attacked Israel in the air, on the ground, and in the sea.
The second I understood the depravity of what happened and the barbarism,
They've kidnapped Israelis, including children.
I thought that the entire globe would be in mourning. And not only was it silent, there was jubilation.
Wow.
It was exhilarating. It was energizing.
I wasn't seeing an ideological disagreement. I was seeing hatred.
Free Palestine!
The hate started flooding in almost immediately.
Students called it resistance, they called it justified, they began calling Zionist students racist.
We are Hamas! Standing up for being Jewish got me more hate than all the things that I have said on social media and on my podcast combined. And I've said a lot.
For every one video that is pro-Israeli, there's 54 pro-Hamas and pro-Palestine videos, sir.
Foreign state and non-state actors are seeding the online space with false narratives in order to impact the stability of Western democracy.
30 years ago, leaders of Hamas in America met and discussed strategy to hijack students' minds.
Adapting the concept of intifada. Violence will follow.
Down with the USA! Down with the USA!
This is not about Jews. This is about democracy. This is about human decency.
What does it mean that the future leaders of the most important democracy in the world are chanting for intifada? What is the country going to look like a decade from now?
What is at stake is the soul of America.
Wow, man, this video is like showing the trailer of this bad dream that many of us have been living since October 7th, like through the chronologically shock in the beginning of what happened, and then all the overwhelming support that followed on social media in the streets, and then justifying it, that parliament member from the UK, that black guy that was talking there, I've seen him live. He was trying to
the US.
No, there was one from the UK there. He was trying to attend a rally that was under the sky of peaceful for peace and tolerance rally, but they were promoting jihadists, and then going around to all the persecution that activists and people who started showing their support to the Jewish people were having online, and how radical Muslims around the world and their, useful idiots friends from the left were going around and trying to bully people online. And for every video that we make, they'll put 50. For everyone that we share, they will share 50 and do hashtags and then report. My account is still kind of shadow banned in Instagram because of that, because I was talking about peaceful stuff. So anyway, wow, man. So this is a movie that is going to be in cinema?
It is already in cinemas. It came out March 14, and it's right now showing in the United States, and it grossed by now it grossed almost $1.5 million. For a documentary, this is very, very good, but it needs more support because, as you can see here on the IMDb page, you have 15,000 rankers, and everybody can rank. Everybody who's enlisted in IMDb, and it's free.
Anyone watching this, guys, go and rank it. Unless you're pro jihad, then don't bother. Ignore what I said.
4.2. It's humiliating because that those people who are renting it low are renting it only for being a pro-Israel movie. And again, I think we need to reiterate, it is not a pro-Israel movie. It is not a pro-Israel movie. It's a movie that shows that the moment Jews are being attacked in Israel, the opposite of empathy is what we see. It's jubilation. It's happiness. It's people being in the streets rallying against Israel after being attacked. Imagine any other country in the world will suffer such an atrocity in such magnitude, and they will go and cheer it up.
I think there were still terrorists that were still live streaming while the support to help them and to condemn Israel came. It just shows you what a crazy world. Wow. October.
And you heard what the guy in the end said. People from Hamas met a few years ago to discuss how will they infiltrate the establishments, the student establishments in the United States, in the West, not just in the United States. It's happening all over the world. But you can see that it was pre-planned years ago.
Do you have this video?
It was right now. We saw it in the. Yeah, he said, and when I can find more. But in the end, what we're seeing is something that bear fruit after years of planning. Years of planning.
That's why they call this video October 8th. It's like the day after October 7th. That's not because it's going to be the second October 7th. It's okay. I kind of misunderstood in the beginning. Yeah, October 8th is when the rest of us, the people in the kibbutzim there and the first responders, special forces, the police officers, reservists, they witnessed and experienced October 7th. Most of us outside of Israel experienced October 8th. And since then until now, it's ongoing. It's ongoing and it's not ending. And every time you think, that maybe the world is waking up, someone like batshit cuckoo like Candace Owens or Andrew Tate or Ben Dazurian, whatever that name of that idiot, Ben Benzurian. I don't know, that pimp. Yeah, that drug dealer pimp. It's funny how all the pro-Palestine supporters, or at least many of them, are literally criminals.
Or support criminals.
Famous social media, because under the radical Islam, criminals are rewarded. They find, safe haven there. That's crazy, man. Hey,
and the fact that it's the biggest universities in the world, it just adds to the but that's the thing. And also, you can see there's I don't remember, I can maybe show it later, maybe post it later, but there was a graph that showed how many foreign countries and how many money they gave from 10 years ago till now to United States universities. And Qatar and China are in the first place.
Surprise. Place. How is this happening?
Well, I don't know. Who would have known? Who would have known?
Who would have known, man? Anyway, these guys are really radicals. What do you think about my Mujahideen outfit?
Yep, Mujahideen.
These fighters in Afghanistan. That's a real Mujahideen outfit from Afghanistan.
What do you mean real? Like you just went there and you stole it from one guy who's like, hey, look, can I buy it? Do you want a camel? I give you a camel, you give me the Mujahideen?
Story. I mean, don't ask questions, you don't hear lies. But yeah, it's real and it's from Afghanistan, and I got it.
That's
some
so
things
awesome.
are better not to share right now on social media. But yeah, that's what they wear there. Mujahideen.
Okay.
Very convenient, actually. You can use it as a blanket. You can use it as a tent. You can cover yourself from the sand, like in Dune. You can conceal, stuff in it. I don't want to get canceled here, so I'm not going to say it.
I just don't know if you have much sand in Germany that you need to protect yourself from using the Mujahideen.
I've been using it here. Actually, I started using it because I covered my cameras with that when I went to Israel to not, have them break in the suitcase. And when I came back now, we were coming from Eilat, which is extremely warm, straight into a minus temperature in Germany, and we were not dressed well enough for that, and my kid was freezing. So I grabbed my Mujahideen outfit and I wrapped him in it. And he was looking like the cutest mummy. He was just completely wrapped. He looked like E.T., kind of wrapped in it. And then we got.
I hope it didn't look like ET, because ET looked like a little turd, like a brown little alien turd.
The funny story is when we got home out of this, blizzard cold that was outside, he ran into the house, and because it was warm, the first thing he did is I was picking up. He told me, "Put me down." I put him down, and he went on the floor and started kissing the floor. And I'm like, all right,
Don't kiss daddy after you kiss the floor. Don't kiss daddy.
It reminded me of the pilgrimage, when they came, the Ethiopians, when they came to Israel, or people when they come first to a country, finally they go and they kiss the ground like, oh, it's warm here, home. Yeah, that was funny. That was
Okay,
funny.
but wait. I still have one thing to show you before, because we were talking about October 8th, and I really think it's like it's an important movie that everybody should go, everybody should support, because it's a very important message that we're trying to establish. It doesn't matter if you're pro-Israel, against Israel. The movie is actually talking about how the West is being infiltrated by those groups. But I want to finish with a happy note, with a brighter note.
All right.
So let's see. We all know Erin Molan. She's an Australian presenter and and she's a very pro-Israel. And she has something to say about how many people support Israel and how many people are against Israel. So let's just watch it.
Now, could it be that some in the world are starting to wake up? Well, in America at least. And I preface the following with the fact there is any division on this is, well, BBC. That beat crazy. A recent poll found over 3 in 4 US voters support Israel over Hamas and agree that Hamas must release all the hostages. I mean, the fact that anyone does not agree is utterly ridiculous, but not surprising. It's another reminder, and we need them constantly, that the silent majority are just that, a majority and, well, silent. And the useful idiots and dangerous drongos are a minority but take up all the space. Most of their contributions are vacuous, but still they make most of the noise. So keep shouting the truth from every platform you can, no matter how big or small. I know it can feel pointless, but clearly it's not. It's making a difference.
Clearly it's not. Clearly it's making a difference.
That's interesting. She said 3 out of 4, and that sounds very promising, right? But when you think about it, that is a quarter that doesn't. So if you take 100 people, how much is a quarter?
15?
25.
25. I'm not good at math.
No need to reconfirm that. It's okay. We got it. So if you take 1 million, how many is a quarter?
25,000. 25,000?
No, 250,000.
Oh,
but
250.
anyway,
again, I told you you're asking me difficult questions.
Stop asking you math.
I know. Give me geopolitical questions. Give me about the China Iran war with Israel, Turkish. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, so let's take now 400 million. Right, that's about what they say they have in the U.S.
Something like that. Yeah, maybe even 50 million more. But yeah,
divided by 4. 100 million people in the US support Hamas on October 7. That's what this poll is saying. You know what? Mostly is adults. So let's take 200 here, 250 million. All right. Divided by 4. About 60 million people in the US Support October to Hamas. So what she said is, good news. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I know you were trying.
I think you're trying. I think you're trying. Look. We
You were
saw
trying
what
to
she
phrase it
said.
really nicely.
No, but I saw. Look. We all know. Look, even an ounce, even just a tiny bit ounce of support to Hamas from the United States is crazy. Okay, 27% is also quite crazy. 27% is quite crazy.
If I would have told you there's 1 million people living in your country that supports Hamas, you'll be like shocked, I guess. But now if I tell you that about 60 or maybe even 70, if you say 27%, let's say 70 million people of them, we're not talking about the kids that might have been radicalized completely. We're talking about right now the adults that can go and vote. That's very, very disturbing numbers. That complicates the whole story. Now the question comes, who are these people? How many children they bring? What kind of an influence they have on the social media education system, on the voting system, on the economy, on the mainstream media. So that changes the picture. There's this famous funny video that there's like this gangster looking guy that talks to Joe Rogan. He's a comedian that was in jail. I don't know his name. He's like, oh, like this. Anyway, there's a video that he's saying, I don't need an army. I just need about 3, 4, 5 good friends and I can take down a nation. And it's like the viral video. But the idea is the power that you have when you have a united number. That's what, October 7th, that's a great example. It was not, a huge army that invaded Israel, but it was a very united group of jihadist barbarians that came. And, for the first several hours, it brought the IDF, the mighty IDF was brought to its knees. And the only reason it wasn't that catastrophic because the mighty citizens of Israel and the special forces and, their first responders went, and police and etc. They went and they stopped them. So that shows you the power of numbers. And out of this number, let's say now you have 70 million radicals or useful idiots that support October 7, Hamas. That's like supporting ISIS and Al-Qaeda in the US. How many of them are sleep cells,
Sleeper cells?
Sleeper cells, yeah. Complete jihadists who infiltrated or who are working to destroy America from within. So I know you are trying to bring, like I said, I know a very sorry. I'm optimistic, but then my brain works extra time to fight this up. There's like a boxing ring between the optimistic and the pessimistic.
You're very pessimistic. No, I get it. You're also a realist. And you're trying to look at it. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to be a realist too.
He does all the combos. He does Hadouken all the time, man. That's why he wins a lot of fights. He press, jump, up, down, Hadouken, attack, Hadouken. Exactly.
No, but listen, I am trying to. Okay, look. The thing that I think is most important that we need to understand from what she's talking about is that there is a big silent majority, and those people they need to start waking up, and that's exactly why I'm connecting that video to the October 8 video, because this is exactly what they're trying to do with this movie, trying to get people to wake up and see it's not about Israel and Palestine. It's about the radicalization of the youth in the West. And those people need to start to wake up. People, parents, neighbors, anybody, co-workers, that if you see somebody who is supporting this kind of behavior, speak up. This is important. This is not about saving the Jews. This is not about saving Israel. This is about living in a democratic state. If you like your country, if you love Israel, if you love the United States, if you love living in the West, having, freedom, if you love freedom so much, freedom doesn't come easy. Freedom comes after you fight against it. Yeah, that's what you need.
That's why I used to say it in the past that the story of Israel and radical Islam is like the story of Game of Thrones, where Israel is the night watch. They're standing on the wall and they're watching, and the White Walkers are the radical Islams and all these, Muslimbis, I call them. Yeah. Someone once got angry at me, like, how are you calling people that are alive like zombies? Sorry, man. If you're a terrorist supporter, a radical jihadist, want to burn babies alive, I would call you worse things than just a zombie. But anyway, so here comes Israel, standing on the wall, fighting the battle for the Western world, literally. The battle of empires were trying, with different civilizations, trying to conquer, and Israel has been fighting it. And the Israeli soldiers is full of blood and mud and grit. And once in a while, we'll send an ambassador on a horse, and he will go to the kingdoms and tell them, guys, we need your help. We need your support. They're coming. They're coming in armies. We're little. We're just a minority, and they're a majority. Come and help us. Send us support. Come and stand beside us, because if we're down, you're down. And what does the West do? They're busy playing their own games, or I don't know, having traitors from inside. They condemn them. They laugh at them. They kick them out, or they shame them. And that has been going on for a very long time. Israel has been watching the wall for Western civilization. I say that as an Arab, not as a Jew. I'm talking Israel right now, not only the Jews. Yeah. Israel, the Jewish state of Israel, with all of its, geopolitical and religions that are under it, are going around fighting this battle for Western civilization. October 8th is a movie that is aimed for the West. We in Israel, we know it. We've been there on October 8th. Most Israelis woke up in that day, October 7th. The West need to wake up. There were a lot of even very naive Israelis who were supporting, Palestinians, and thought, that there is a partner for peace there. And they were the first one to get slaughtered. The first one to get slaughtered in that war. I'm not saying there isn't Palestinians that want to have peace, but they're just irrelevant. Literally irrelevant. And actually, they're the ones that need saving. Because the majority of their supports this jihad, and it's coming to the West. But anyway, sorry for ending the video on a more serious note. I know we're trying to end it on a more optimistic note. Next time we'll try it again, and I promise not to ruin it. But let's see how that works. You have anything else to say, Fizzy?
No, I think you nailed it on the head. I think that, I'll just say you are right about the fact that Palestinians also suffer. In the end, the first ones who suffer from radical Islam is the Muslims. These are the first people who suffer from it. We are the next in line. We are the Jews. We are the next in line. They suffer it first. They need to be saved from it. I'm not saying that we are supposed to save them, but they need to be. They need to get out of this. They need to get out of this mindset, because you can see the difference between countries, even Muslim countries, that support terrorism and that does not support terrorism. You see who is having a better lifestyle, who is having a better life for themselves, right? This is like, it's a conflict. They need to stop having this conflict inside of them, and they need to rectify what they have inside and see how they join us in the 21st century.
Preach it, brother. Preach it. Thank you so much. And whoever stayed until now, guys, thanks for sticking around. If you want to help support this channel, do the whole shebang, like, share, subscribe, the whole thing. If you want to find direct ways to support this channel, go and check my Patreon channel, where you can find practical, direct ways to help this channel keep growing so we can bring you better content and more frequent. But until then, guys, don't do anything stupid. In general, like I always say, don't do anything stupid like I do. For example, getting a Mujahideen outfit. Yeah, anyway, see you next time.